Picking up where we left off in the last video, we have these splines that we just created. And what we're going to do is, let's hide the blueprint. So let's select all, Control A. Let's go here and hit Hide Unselected. Because the blueprint is frozen, it is not going to stay on the screen. These are all selected, so let's grab the main rectangle, the first one we made, right click, convert it to an editable spline. And now what we're going to do is we're going to attach all these other rectangles and parts that we built. So let's click attach, attach again, and attach. Deselect the attach button. Okay. And now we're going to select spline. We're going to select this spline. I'm going to come down here, and you can see we have these spline boolean tools. And I'm not an advocate of booleans when it comes to modeling, you know, with polygons. I'm not really a fan, although they do have some functionality. I use them sometimes for screws and things like that, but in general I avoid them. I feel I can model anything I can see without using a sort of dirty, for lack of a better word, technique. And booleans usually are a dirty technique. But with splines, we can boolean, and we have union, subtraction, and intersection. And they work a little differently. You have to pick what you want. We want union, and then you have to click the button, and then click the pieces. So what's going to happen, you see that that cross-section disappeared because we made it one piece. We're going to do the same here. You can see that that's now one piece, and we're going to do the same at the front end. There you go. And now everything here is one piece. We can turn off the boolean. Let's do a little post cleanup here. Vertex. Can just simply, I think we can delete that. Yes, we can. So we didn't need that vert necessarily there. And the same here, we have a lot of verts I think that aren't necessary. Let's move this one down. And let's get that one and delete it. Right there. Okay. And other than that, we're pretty good. Let's just clean up a little bit, make things look a little better. A lot of this won't be seen so much in the final, but it's still good to have it. I'm going to do this here too. We're going to just delete that one, delete that one. Okay, and you remember earlier, first of all, this Bezier looks a little off the mark to me. So I'm going to click on this arrow. I'm going to move these handles along that direction. And that looks better. I'm going to also take this vertex and move it down, this vertex rather. Okay, there we go. Let's level that off a little. Looks good. Now this one here is one that should have been rounded but wasn't. So I'm going to go up to fillet. I'm going to try first to click and roll and see if we just left click and roll that slider up if we can get what we want. And we do. That's exactly what I want it to look like. So there we have it. We have the whole outline of the chassis. And just to see how it looks and that it's functioning properly, I'm going to go to top. And I'm going to try bevel again as opposed to extrude. Bevel. I'm going to go to perspective, which is P. I'm just going to take a quick look at this. I'm going to give it a little more depth. It shouldn't be a 1/4 inch. This is the main chassis. This is some substantial heavy metal. So we want this to be like maybe, I don't know, let's say 6 inches and see how it looks. That looks good. Okay, so that's the main body of the chassis. And what we're going to do is it's still editable. In the next video, I'm going to add these little cutouts and things so that we have more detail. So again, left viewport, Z for zoom. Let's unhide all. Let's say no. Okay. I'm going to F3 so I can see. Come on. Select the chassis and Alt X. We can turn off the bevel. There we go. So we have the outline of the chassis. There are all these cutouts in here. We're going to do them. But first, I see something we missed before. We're going to get this vert. We're going to do fillet again. Let's see if that works out. That does. And what I want to do is, I want to take this vert and let's just delete it. Let's take that one and we'll adjust the Bezier a little bit. Okay, that looks more like what I was hoping for. Make sure there's nothing else we missed. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to get these big openings, these rectangular cutouts. We're going to make them. And the way we're going to do it is by going back to rectangle. I'm going to drag them out just like that. And with the rectangle, we have a corner radius option. I'm going to roll that. Just click and move the mouse up. That looks good to me. And what we can do now is repurpose that a little bit. I'm going to shift and drag that to there as a copy. Again, same thing, shift and drag, copy, OK. One more time, shift and drag to a copy, OK. And now we're going to select our original spline. Might need to hit F3 to find it. It's a little hard to see there. There it is. And down to spline level, we're going to go to spline and attach. And we'll attach these new rectangles that we just created. There we go. And then we're going to go to spline again. We'll stay at spline, turn off attach, select that spline, down to the spline boolean tools. This time we want subtraction. Click boolean and start clicking on these rectangles. And 4, OK. Let's go turn off the boolean, go to vertex, make sure that things are pretty organized. It looks good. Okay, perspective P, F3, and let's apply the bevel and make sure that things are still functioning properly. Alt and X. That looks good. So with that, I'm going to do the next section in another video just to keep things organized. And I'll be back, and when I come back, we'll be working on the little squares and circles that are cut out behind here. So I'm going to pause the video, and next video we'll be back.